Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of CSGO News and kind of a special episode for all of you. And I mean by special is kind of a sad episode as well. Today's last story will be very important. I hope you all stick around for that. I've had this story for about 24 hours now and I've really been trying to think about how to share it with all of you. So again, today's last story will be very important. Hope you guys all take the time to watch that. But first off today, like I talked about in yesterday's episode of CSGO News, Valve is doing a great job with CSGO as of late with map updates as well as vac ban waves. We had a big vac ban wave hit within 24 hours of today as you guys watching this, and that cleared out 5,000 accounts just within 24 hours. Unfortunately though, for some of you who might be fans of the old 1.6 pro players, apparently one of them known as Element, a very legendary pro player for 1.6. If you don't remember, he actually played for Mouse Sports, a short stint with SK Gaming, and several other teams. If you want to know further information about him, please look him up. He goes by the name of Element, actually one of those players who I believe at one point in time back in 2003 and 2004 won back-to-back CPL events, summer, winter, summer, whatever order that might be chronologically. So a really good pro player. Apparently, as is right now, guys, only speculation, he has been vac banned as well. Other people came out and said that was actually a fake account, but as of right now, we also can't contact him because he actually does not have too many means of social media. So we're trying to reach out to him to confirm whether he was vac banned or not. But either way, Valve continuing their onslaught of bots and all these Steam accounts as well. And also announced last night in pre-patch release notes, guys, for October 12th, that is yesterday, the point of you watching this video, we had some other updates come from Valve, and this includes a new update for almost every single operation map. Of the 36 operation maps, I believe a good number of them actually received minor updates. A lot of people are saying now, of course, the new Inferno map, as well as part of this update, guys, the new Inferno map has been receiving a lot of work, and a lot of those exploited bugs and boosts, especially a new glitch where you could actually jump higher than you're supposed to, those have all been fixed as well. So a majority of those bugs and boosts and glitches that have come out with YouTubers such as Adren and other Reddit players have been fixed as of right now for all these new maps, including Inferno. So congrats again to Valve, doing a great job keeping up to date on the game, as well as some other changes. So if you now newly download CSGO, if you go and buy CSGO for a new account, you will now pre-package, you will have all those 36 operation maps in your download and access pool, and that way you don't have to download them individually. So that was a minor update for CSGO as of last night. And very last and big CSGO news today before my last story, of course, I do want to talk about Team Mortal Kombat. As you know, several months ago, this team, one of my favorite teams from Bulgaria, my only favorite team from Bulgaria that is, has a lot of great players, a team I thought was going to be a really close team. They'd been through a lot of stuff together, such as going through EFRAG, also Orbit. Different organizations had picked them up and also dropped them, and it was kind of unfortunate to see all of these guys disband. I believe only NKL and one of their other members actually stuck around, but we had Spy Leader, Bubble, and Victor all leave that lineup at once, and it was a really devastating week or so as this Bulgarian lineup went from being the best team in Bulgaria to all of a sudden being dispersed everywhere, and Bubble and Victor left together and they never found a team together. Also, Spy Leader left as well and never had any announcements until a couple weeks ago. We had Spy Leader. He actually was picked up by a team known as B Pro Gaming. That is probably the best Bulgarian lineup as of right now since Mortal Kombat disbanded. So Spy Leader was actually picked up a couple weeks ago and just announced yesterday the other two Mortal Kombat members who actually left, that is Bubble and Victor, who actually left as a pair and now are joining a team as a pair. They are going to be joining Team Rogue, and I am very excited for this. As many of you probably maybe do know, we actually have Team Rogue consisting of Cadian, a team member who's actually been bouncing around from team to team as a substitute not too long ago, and he actually joined with Glace, and I believe their other members Tensky as well. So a really solid team here for this Team Rogue lineup. Now unfortunately this also means with Victor and Bubble joining this new 5-man Rogue roster, we do have two members leaving Team Rogue, one of them being Headshot. Not too big of a deal there, I don't know too much about Headshot, but the other one being kind of a big deal here, as that is, yes, the former MVS coach Maniac, and I really want to talk about this very shortly. As many of you guys know, a couple months ago when he left that MVS roster from their coaching role, he was pursuing the new competitive scene as a player. He wanted to go back to being a player, so he joined Team Rogue, and with little success in this team, it's going to be very curious to see where Maniac goes in the future. As of right now, we really can probably expect, or maybe speculate, that his career as a CSGO player is probably ending and coming to an end, and I'm very worried now, especially because as with coaching roles diminishing, can he really return to a coaching role either? So I'm going to be very curious to see what Maniac's new announcement is, where he's going to go in the esports scene or the competitive scene whatsoever. So yes, Headshot and Maniac are out. Now we have Tensky, Glace, Cadian, and also Victor and Bubble rounding out that Rogue roster, which I think looks like a very surprising roster, and hopefully seeing some things for them in the lower tiers of competitive scene soon. And before I get into this final story, I'm going to kind of probably dim the mood a little bit. I also want to announce to all of you who have seen Anomaly's tweets as of recently, I poorly worded my video yesterday towards Anomaly, and I clearly, if you watched the whole video, I stated that I didn't think Anomaly was one of the people who would ever threaten McSkillet. Anomaly seems like a great guy, a really friendly guy. I never expected him to take it to the extreme and start tweeting harsh things or, things that were not very nice about me. So expect probably a reply to that in a video tomorrow, but I'm not probably going to announce it in the title. If I do, it'll be late in the title. So I will be doing an announcement of that. If you guys haven't followed my Twitter, please do. Anomaly roasted me like every other YouTuber does. More importantly, though, we do have a big story today, and that is about a big CSGO trader, or a huge CSGO trader known as Dup Styles. If you've never heard about him, Google him. He's one of the biggest traders out there for CSGO and Steam in general. And unfortunately, yesterday, within the past 24 hours, there was a plane crash in Connecticut, I do believe, and he was one of the pilots on board, and he did pass away. So let me prepare myself for this, and yes, this is the story we're talking about. If you guys don't want to, hear anything about this story, feel free to skip it. CSGO news is over, but he is a CSGO trader, or he was. So I'm going to talk about that story right now. So if any of you have been watching the news or watched the news closely, you probably saw about this plane crash with a flight instructor and a student. Now that student was Ferris, I believe his name was, or also known as Dup Styles, one of the largest CSGO traders out there. Thousands of people have traded with this guy, and he did pass away. Now, whatever you see in the news articles, yes, many of them are saying that the plane crash was intentional or a suicide attempt. I want you also to know that his partner, his flight instructor, did survive the crash, and apparently, according to witnesses, said it was intentional. And that does not matter. I know we had the death of Fizzer. I believe he was a Call of Duty player not too long ago. I believe this is equally important to all of you, that you know that no matter how they went out, it's still the importance of the life that mattered. And this guy touched a lot of people in the CSGO community. And if you don't agree with that, I am sorry. I do find it to be unfortunate if this was intentional, that he tried such a thing with his flight instructor on board. But either way, this guy, if you read all the comments on his page, I will be hopefully linking you guys down below to his Steam profile. It is filled with thousands of comments, and it goes to show you how great the CS community really is. I mean, obviously with Fizzer's death as well, the Call of Duty community reacted so well, even though that was a drunk driving incident. And even now with this potentially intentional crash of a plane, people are still reacting so well because he was a great guy. He was touched by a lot of people. Obviously had a lot of aspirations in life. I believe he was partially CSGO trading to pay for his flight school. And so if you read through all these comments, of course you have those typical comments of people like, wow, he deserved to die, the trash of the CS community. But bulk majority of these comments are, wow, this guy, I traded with him every day, he touched my life, what a great guy, talking to him was amazing. And so you can really tell by all these comments that he was a personal guy, he was a great guy, and I find it really unfortunate that this had to happen. So I wanted to make you all aware of this. It didn't hit any news articles, and I don't really exactly know how to share this kind of stuff with all of you. So if this video is majorly disliked, I wouldn't blame you. And hopefully the title is appropriate, the thumbnail. Me and my thumbnail guy have been trying to figure out, like, how do we put this in the thumbnail, or how do we put this in the title? Is there like an appropriate way to do this? This is the first passing away, or the first death that I've shared on CSGO News, and hopefully going to be the last one for quite some time, until like the NIP Virtus Pro SK Gaming players are like 80 years old and I'm like 60, and I'm like, well, we had another CSGO pro player of my childhood pass it. Hopefully it's going to be a long time until we make those videos. But I wanted to share this with all of you. A big member in the CS community passed away yesterday. So pay your condolences however you might. Just the main message I wanted to convey here, and sorry if a train comes by and this gets really loud all of a sudden, but is there comes a time in your life when you're going to deal with instances like this, and it might be a distant friend, a close friend, a family member, a distant family member that goes through moments like this where they take a way out. And again, we do not know as of right now if this was intentional or not, but you're going to suffer things like this in your life, and it's how you bounce back and deal with them that really does matter. So I want you guys all to know life is precious. I've had several people contact me through my Twitter DMs and say, Jake, I'm not happy. Jake, I'm sad. I'm angry all the time. And I try and talk with these people because life is seriously precious. Think about this for a second. I have such an amazing life, especially these past 4, 5, 6 months where YouTube's taken off. But everything that's happened in that is so stressful. I have YouTubers like hating on me. Like today, this happened. I walk home and I'm like, wow, this sucks sometimes. But I want you to know, there are so many better moments out there. If you're having any trouble, feel free to reach out to me. I will promise to contact you back as soon as possible. That's the main overall message. I don't mean to take too much of your time. Hope you guys all enjoy this episode of CSGO News. I'm sorry it got so dark. Pep up. Life is good. Leave a comment down below. Hopefully I can reply to you guys if I have time this weekend. This episode of CSGO News, besides this last story, was super fun to make. I've been having a great time doing this. I hope you guys all enjoy. As always, live, love, laugh a lot. My name is Jake. Remember, I like you. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow or in a couple days with more CSGO News videos or a CSGO Funny Name Tags video. Remember, I like you. You know what's coming. Goodbye.